pointing it into a neighborhood, and that's the house they told me to get away from. They're looking at one house in particular here across the street from the intersection of West Florissant, and that it's hard to figure out exactly what's going on because there's no one here I think to get information from. And,
Andy, I know as you're trying to gather some of this information and you're just soaking all of this in, at being right there on the scene, we do need to point out that that video we were showing was from Alderman Antonio French. He posted that a little bit earlier. He had some of the video from last night as well, but that is who took that cell phone video, so we wanted to point out where that was coming from. Right now, a live picture shows police are in their riot gear. We saw the video from Alderman French in gas masks, trying to disperse the crowd. Earlier today, here's that video we're talking about of the tear gas being fired on the street. St. Louis County Police Chief John Belmar said earlier today that they were prepared for any violence tonight, and there was a plan, and they were not going to let things get out of hand as they did last night in Ferguson with the QT being looted and burned and the other businesses. And they were very thankful that last night there was no one killed or injured, and that was their fear going into tonight, that that could happen.
Yeah, it looks like, as you can see there in the picture, police do have their guns drawn right there beside that fence. We can't see across there to see what has caused that, but let's listen if we hear the singing the bull. Apparently trying to disperse the crowd of some sort there.
Tom and Mandy?
Yes, Andy. What
Yeah,
can you tell us?
Telling people to go into their homes or face more gas. And it's for their own safety. I'm standing about, I would say about 30 yards from the two police officers, members of the JAC squad, with their guns steadied on a house. And if we don't know exactly why or who they think may be in there, but I will tell you, and you know, there's obviously the residents, not every resident in Ferguson, but people in the area, people who come from St. Louis City, from East St. Louis, from all over North County, to be here and voice their frustrations that, you know, they've had with police where they live too. Police are here trying to protect them, and that's the truth. I don't know what anyone else out there might believe, but one of their biggest concerns out here is the safety of all the people standing right around me right now. I don't know what's going on in that house or what they think might be happening, but the reason they're telling everyone to go inside and get away is not because they're bothered by them standing here. They're just worried about their safety.
Okay, yeah, we can see some of the policemen putting on their police officers putting on their gas masks. Again, they have their guns drawn there, and as Andy was mentioning, apparently they're talking to some people in the house rather than a group of demonstrators or whatever. Whether they just want them out of harm's way or if there is something going on in that house, we don't know at this time.
Okay. Do you still hear me, Tom?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, there's a police helicopter also circling overhead with its floodlight shining down on this house. And when I first started talking to you, that's where I was standing, right where the police officers are now. And right, there's a bus stop on the other side of them, behind where they're standing. And that's when they walked up to me and said, "Come get back. There's somebody in that house. You need to stay away from that yard. We're heading over that way." And other than that, like I said, you know, obviously there's not an opportunity here to go ask them what is happening in there.
What kind of police numbers are you seeing there, Andy?
I see about, let me walk across the street here too. I see a couple dozen. I would say 2 dozen, and not 3. Now right behind me, Tom, there's about 2 dozen protesters coming up chanting, and some of the residents are turning them around. It's not the police. Residents are saying, "Hey, you guys need to turn around and go back right now. This is not the time and the place." But they're holding their ground. I mean, it's just, we're in a situation, we don't know what's going to happen. Now the police back on the bullhorn saying, please clear the streets, return to your home, get out of the street. And I think you can see them from our camera with gas masks on and ready to head this way if they need to clear these guys out.
Andy, have you seen them shoot anything other than tear gas?
No. I saw a half dozen canisters go off, and like I said, at that point I wasn't sure if it was tear gas because I think they have both. They have some kind of not toxic smoke, and then they have tear gas, I guess. And I was told they did use tear gas earlier, which is maybe what you saw from Antonio French's video. Out here, that didn't seem to be what they were using, but they did fire several canisters. I did not hear, again, there was word that maybe they were firing rubber bullets at some of the protesters, but that isn't confirmed. And I asked one of the command staff of the Ferguson Police Department, I asked him that question directly. He said, oh, no, I can't confirm that.
Andy, it looks like there's a crowd growing, and we just saw a man out in the street. It looks like he's yelling toward police.
Yes, man in a red shirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.